Okay, so we alive? Yeah, we alive. Let me wait for some more persons. So, okay, yeah, we have someone here. Good evening. Please, can you share your name at the comment section so I know you are here? My name is Ene Lawal, so let me type that. My so your name and where are you joining us from? So my name is so at the comment section because YouTube does not allow us. It does not allow us share the face of those who are participating in the webinar. So if you can do well, so yeah, so your name and then where you are joining us from, it would help a great deal. Okay, so let's wait until we have people joining us and then we can start up with what we have for the day. Um, okay, so wait for some other persons to join and then we would comment with the talk we have for today. That we have people joining so that we'll have a full conversation. Okay, we're waiting for others to join up so that we would commence. Okay, so the conversation we'll be having today is one, like it's a follow up from the one we had in our last conversation. And I would say if you were not a part of that conversation, you do yourself so much good to go watch the last live stream and be acquainted with all that we had done. all we had done. Yeah, the goal is that we'll be persons who are able to sell yourself. And like I shared in the last conversation that we had, I said um, the reason why I am putting these together is something someone said to me, right? After I had shared the title of the webinar on my status. So she reached out and she was like, put a course together. So this is an attempt to put information out there, information I have had for a long while, information that has helped me to achieve profitability to a very good extent. And I want to share this kind of webinars are webinars you do and then you charge, but I'm not taking that route this time. So I want to put this out there. Primarily is for my ex-students, students who at one point or another our paths crossed and I was their teacher. Because many times you reach out to these persons and they tell you they are struggling, yeah, and they tell you they are broke. And the question is, why would you be broke when you are? The thing is, there's nobody who does not get to a point where they are broke, right? Even Nigeria at some point becomes broke with all our natural resources, our human resources, everything we have. There are points where we are so broke, we go to countries like Paris and America, Canada, to go get funds that we would plow back into our economy. Yeah, so everybody goes through that season. It's a normal season. The difference between people is not that they come into the season. For me, difference in people is what they do when they get into the season. For some persons, the season lingers for a long while, but some persons have mastered the act of reducing their broke season. They know what to do. They've built themselves to a point where they know what to do at certain points and they leave the Brokeville. They leave being broke and then they have cash. Yeah. There are many persons who have mastered the act of leaving Brokeville very fast. Some not very fast, not fast enough, right? Some leave Brokeville into wealth. Some leave Brookville into Managementville. I hope you're getting the analogy. But the fact is, it's possible to escape being broke. So when you are broke, the idea is you know what to do. Everybody at certain points will need money. Everybody at certain points will be short of money. But the idea is when that happens to you, you know what to do. You know how to go about it to escape that phase very fast. And if we can escape that phase very fast, that's wealth. A wealthy person is not somebody who does not have lack. A wealthy person is a person who knows how to escape lack fast, knows the system, has ideas, knows what to do, knows the buttons to press, and the person escapes broke veil, escape lack fast. So that's the goal. That's the goal of this. In our last conversation, I spent time talking about the the silent experts, right? So let me recap that, and then I would add something, and yes, we'll call it a day. The silent expert is that person who has value, but people do not know he has the value, right? So the silent expert is the person who has value, but people do not know he has that value. And because people do not know that he has the value, they will not patronize him. And one of the laws of wealth is exchange. Yeah. One of the laws of wealth, like I said, is what now? Is exchange. So the law of wealth is that you exchange something for something. If you're not exchanging value for income, you are not making money. So now the point is when you exchange value, when you exchange something, there must be an exchange for wealth to come. So if you don't exchange, and exchange only happens when people know you have the value they need. People know you have the value. So until people know, the idea of the silent expert is that person who is in a dark room and is winking to a lady in that dark room. So there are two persons in the dark room, the lady and the guy. And the guy is making curious attempts to wink, right? He's winking to gesture the lady. No matter how long he does it, no matter how serious, no matter how engaged, no matter how creative a winker that person is, because it's in the dark, what happens? The next person, the winky, if you permit me, will not see what is happening. So it's like winking in the dark. Being a silent expert is by winking in the dark. No matter the mastery you've achieved in winking, as far as you are in the dark, the value will not be realized. So the silent expert is the guy who is in the dark and is winking. And like I said, the more you wink, the less value or importance you get. So the point in the conversation is the silent expert. And I say that silent expert is that person who has a product, a service, and a product, a service, and a skill, right? But nobody knows about that. So you don't want to be the silent expert. You want to be somebody who has value and knows how to create awareness for that value. Because until you create enough awareness for the value that you possess, nobody will come for the value. Nobody patronizes a person who they do not know has that value. I remember I shared a story in the last live stream of a time I needed kunu. I was in dire need of it because I prefer it to soda and soft drink. And the person I went to go ask for direction to where I could get it told me that she sells. Like I was taken aback. I never knew I would never had guessed that the person sells. And why would that be the case? It is because the person did not create enough awareness. So welcome. Good to have you here. Please, can you share your name and where you're joining from? I want to know so I can call you by your name. I don't know. I think it's because it's quite late. I'm expecting other persons to join at some point in the live stream. So please, you can just tell us your name and where you are joining from. So the point is because the seller did not create enough awareness, I did not know that she had the value I was in their need of. Thank God I opened my mouth, right? So don't wait for people to come to you. That's an error that we have. We are expecting that destiny helpers will beat their way to our doorstep to give us what they have. That's not true. It happened for Jesus, right? But you're not Jesus. Yeah, you're not. His case is quite different. They left the east, journeyed through the snow and the death that confronted them, and they were able to make headway, able to make their way to the manger, and then they brought the gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You're not Jesus. If you do not put the value you have out there, you would have a problem with receiving money, right? Like I said, the law of wealth is premised on the law of exchange. If there's no exchange, wealth will not take place. So there must be exchange of a kind. And I said the exchange can take place at the level of product, at the level of service, or at the level of skill. So any of these three is enough to engender the law of exchange. And the law of exchange would now give way to wealth. So the silent expert, you don't want to be that person, right? um, you want to be the person who sells, the person who exchanges. In that last um, webinar I held, I'm doing all of this to bring you up to speed with what I have, because the idea is that we'll be adding block upon block, we'll be adding thoughts upon thoughts, right, to give us what we are looking at. So I mentioned in that conversation that there are three stages when it comes to sell yourself. The first stage is the inexperienced stage. And I said everybody began inexperienced, right? Aristotle said that all humans are tabula rasa, a blank slate. So everybody began from the point of not having. So inexperience, the next stage is experience. Experience is when you've gotten expertise. You have a skill, you have a service, you have a product, you have something you can exchange, something of value that you can exchange, right? The next stage is now the selling. Let me put this out very fast and very concise. The idea is that not every value can be exchanged for wealth. Not every value can be exchanged for wealth. So you must be very cognizant of that. Not every value can be exchanged for wealth. The point is, what is value, what is valuable, is determined by the markets and not by your head, right? It can be valuable to you and not valuable to the next person, right? If somebody who likes to eat food with rubber spoon, that's your thing. You like rubber spoon when you're eating food. I can bet you that a majority of people do not share that kind of um, disposition. It's not a popular disposition. So if you say, okay, because you like it, so everybody must like it, doesn't make sense. So when it now comes to expertise, I'm trying to say that what you have to offer to the market should be something that the market wants, that the market is looking for. Okay, now you're passionate about typewriter. You like the sound of typewriter. You like how you know that sound, the clanking sound when on the typewriter. As good as that is, as good as the initiative is, as good as the thing is, typewriter will not sell in the market. Maybe it will sell. Maybe people are looking at building or having a room that's a museum, right? Or an antiquity. Those are the people who patronize you. But the majority of the market will not look your way. So because you like typewriter does not mean that typewriter is something you have to do. So what is valuable is determined by the market. And the best way to know what is valuable is when you take what you have to the market. It is Steve Harris that said the famous line that let the market decide the value of the product. I'm paraphrasing him now. That really helped me, because there was a time where I was just creating classes online, creating trainings online, and people were not patronizing. Those days it was poetry, right? So I was so heavy on poetry. I was creating webinars, creating trainings online and stuff. And then I was charging very little, charging 500 naira. I was even charging free at some point, but nobody was attending my my webinar. So I became, I started feeling very bad, because this is me wanting to share knowledge, wanting to help people become better writers, become poets. But nobody was buying what I was selling. I felt bad about it until I came across Steve Harris's comment. And the comment is that let the market decide the value of your product. Don't leave it to your head. What is valuable to you may not be valuable to the next person. So I like poetry, right? I do so. But the people in my contact list were not poets and did not want to be poets, right? So no matter how much I sold them the idea of becoming poets, because that is not something they want to do, I was selling to the wrong market. Yeah. So what is valuable is not decided by your mind. What is valuable is best decided by the market. Yeah, somebody just joined us. I noticed you've been coming and leaving. Please, can you type your name and where you're joining from, yeah, it would help me to call you. Yeah. Um, YouTube does not allow us see who is on the live stream like you'd find on Instagram and I think LinkedIn Live. Now, so let the market decide what is valuable to them. And how do you allow the market, how do you get this feedback? You get this feedback by exposing your idea to the market, exposing it. So you come to your socials, and the fastest way to the market today is not a motor car. The fastest way to the market is social media. So, first of all, you would identify where your primary audience is. Are your primary audience on TikTok? If you're trying to target TikTok, you're trying to target the Gen Z population, the Gen Z market, right? Yeah. So if you are looking at doing TikTok, you're trying to target the Gen Z market. Are your audience on TikTok? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Facebook? So the place you would find your most preferred, your most preferred um, audience is where you would now launch your idea. So you will tell the market what you want to do, and we'll look at that sometime in the course of this series. Like I said, this is a series. There are so many things to say that one cannot say um, at once in 1 hour. So we are breaking the thoughts into parts. We are breaking the thoughts into parts and we're looking at them along that line. Along that line. Oh, sorry, give me a second. Let me verify something. Yeah, so we are doing that along that line. Sorry, give me a second. Let me see something. Um, um, sorry, let me just update something. Um, sorry, let me just quickly update something and then we will move. Okay, yeah, so yes, you have to identify where you are most likely to find your preferred audience, correct? So experience, I said, we are trying to break free from being the silent expert. I said, one of the ways you would arrive at that is by identifying what it is that you have and also let the market decide if it's valuable or not. How do you do so? You go on your socials, go on social media, and then you make the announcement. You go on social media, and then you make um, your biddings clear to them. This is what you want to offer. If it is valuable to them, they will beat their way to where you are. Right? So that's one of the ways you can go around the market. So when I say go to the market, I'm not saying carry everything to the market. No, when I say go to the market, I'm basically saying that you reach a lot of people on social media and tell them what you want to offer to them. If it is valuable to them, they will come get it. What people need, they get. Do you understand? So if it's a need, your marketing will not even um, take so long and they would come for it because they need it. People go all out to get what they need. Not only do they go all out to get what they need, also they go all out to get what they want. But the ratio of want and need people will go all out for what they need more than what they want. So want is something they can get some other time, but need is something that they can borrow for. And if what you are presenting to them is a need, you see, I've not mentioned any skill, any service, or any product. But if what you have to offer falls in the need, you will always make sales. And so, first of all, identify what do you have to offer? What you're offering by virtue of product, service, or skill. Is it a need or a want? Yeah. So you are the best person to answer that question. What you have to offer to the market, is it a need or a want? So when you are able to identify, when you are able to identify, then you 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 have solved the problem. Is what I have to offer to the market a want or is it a need? If it's a need, people will come. They will come over time. When they see that you can offer what you say you can offer, they would come your way. So is it a want or a need, right? And the best way to identify or get this answer is when you take what you have to the market. That's not what we have for today's webinar. This is just a warm up to the conversation that I want us to have. But please put this at the back of your mind that the law of wealth is premised on the law of exchange. If you do not exchange, if you don't have something to exchange, wealth will not come. So the wealthy person is the person who exchanges what they have for what they need. So the law of wealth is premised. The law of wealth is or rests solely on the law of exchange. So when you have something to exchange, wealth will come your way. Wealth will come. So you must have something to offer. And when it's a need, um, um, in the Bible, there was a particular point where Jesus had just begun his ministry. He had become like a big name in the part of the world where he was born. And someone said a particular statement, and I've heard Apostle Joshua Selman, preach about this. It was said about Jesus Christ that all men seek thee. Said all men seek thee. That statement is very profound. Why do all men seek him? Is it because of his face? We discover from Isaiah that there was nothing of beauty in him that they would desire of. So it was not because of his beauty that they came, or his height, or because his name is Jesus. Interesting, Jesus is not the only person who had that name in his own time. It was a normal name people bore. It was not like a strange name, not like a name that came from heaven, right? People bore the name before Jesus Christ, right? I think the right pronunciation is Yehoshua, right? There were people who bore that name at the time. So why did people come to him? It was because he had something people needed. And the people that came to him, as we find in the Bible recorded, are all men, not black men, not white men, not intellectuals, not religious people, all men, meaning whatever you do, whoever you are, you will come to him. Why? Because he has what you need. That's very profound. A person who has what all men need will have what all men have. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Whatever a man or a person who has what all men need will have what all men have. That's profound. That's why there was always something for Judas to steal. It was because all men came to him, and when all men came to him, they brought what they had. Same case with Solomon. Solomon's wealth was not that he became wealthy because God um, touched his wardrobe and the wardrobe began to spit out money. No, that's not the source of Solomon's wealth. Solomon's wealth came because he exchanged his wisdom for value. Bible said that when the Queen of Sheba heard his wisdom and saw the wisdom, right? He said there was no spine in her anymore. She- all that she brought from Ethiopia, she gave it to him. So she gave her money in exchange for wealth. So that's like, remember I said that the law of wealth is premised on the law of exchange. So Solomon gave wisdom, she gave money in exchange. That's how he grew in wealth. He grew in wealth because he was exchanging his wisdom for wealth. Wisdom, he was exchanging it. So all men came to him because they needed what he had. What, what did he have? He had wisdom. And so they gave him their money, and in exchange for their money, he gave them wisdom. So do you see how this thing works? When all men, when you have what all men need, all men will give you what they have. Like that's so profound and that's very correct. So the thing for example, Facebook has over 1 billion users. Why? Is it because his name is Mark or his name is Zuckerberg? No. Is it because he has Jewish origin? No. So it is because he has what all men need. Humans are social animals. That's why imprisonment is a imprisonment is a punishment because the human soul wants to experience the world. The human soul or the human spirit wants to experience their world. So whatever you do to the human that confines him, whatever you do to the human that makes him unable to experience their world is punishing. You're punishing them. It's now worse when you now keep them in solitary confinement, right? So nobody to mingle. You know, in the prison yard, in the prison yard, there are people to mingle with. That's painful, but because there are people to mingle with, they can go by. But when you keep that person alone for 6 months, they'll become, they start having mental health crisis because the human is a social animal, and confinement, particularly solitary confinement, is not a way the human is wired to exist. Zuckerberg saw that problem, so he built a solution blueprint around the problem. He has over 1 billion users, and he is one of the richest people in the world because he built something that all men need. On Facebook, everybody is there: black, white, red, intellectual, business people. They all men. When you have what all men need, you'll have what all men have. Yeah, that's there's no other way to put that. So what you have, is it what people need? If it's not what people need, you can get what people need. You can get what people need. Anybody who is making so much money is because they have what people need, and they show people that they have what they need. And what happens? People now beat their way to come over to where they are to get what they need. So that's how it works. Don't reinvent the wheel. Have what people need, and you will have what people have. So that thing you have, is it a need? I'm talking product, I'm talking skill, I'm talking service. That thing you have, is it a need or a want or a fantasy? And people go for fantasy, right? Elon Musk is trying to build a. I don't know if he has built it at the point of this recording, but I am familiar with the fact that he wants to build like a tourist attraction in Mars. That's fantasy, right? Anybody who is going to do that is just going to just because they have a lot of wealth and they want to just go show that I was there, to take pictures in Mars. That's very interesting. You know, you are among the one of ones. But all men need, all men need, all men need. So one of the things that we should think about is what all men need. When you have what all men need, you will have what all men have. That's 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 very important. Even if 1 million people give you 1 naira, you're 1 million naira rich. If they give you 10, you know, you are 10 million naira rich. 10 naira by 10 million people, 100 million naira rich. I hope my mathematics is is working. I've left mathematics a long time ago. But that's the point. The point is, no matter how small it is, if it is given by so many, it is something. Are you are you are you getting what I'm dropping? So you should have this at the back of your mind and be cognizant of it. The law of wealth is premised on the law of exchange. If you don't have what to exchange, you will not have what you need. So you would have what you need to get what you need. You would have what people need to get what you need. That's how it works. And we've been dropping we've been dropping value bombs here. So we've said so many things so far, and I hope it is helping you get an understanding of the wealth equation. The idea is selling yourself, and so all things I've been dropping are thoughts that you have to sit with, primarily because they are key, they are important touchstones to eventually selling yourself. So there's this idea, I've had it for many years now. Um, at one time, I said I would write a book. Yes, I'll write a book on the idea, but I have been I have been procrastinating that. I've been procrastinating doing that. Yeah, I don't know, but there's so much I do, right? So a lot of the times I am unable to um, do the things I want to do. Yeah, so maybe I think I would speak about it somewhere along the line of this series or in the DX Student Special Edition. I think I would find time to um, like press on it. It's the idea, or it's in the idea of something that's in the Bible, right? The reason why I would cite the Bible in our conversation is because it's one of the oldest book in human history. I'm not saying the oldest book, I'm saying one of the oldest book in human history. And the book has proven to be reliable. It has survived time. It has built wealth for so many people. For example, I think it's Adam Grant that wrote the book David and Goliath. The book, the idea from the book is sourced from the Bible story, the Bible characters David and Goliath. He was able to tease out strategies, and the book is a bestseller. So there's so many books like that. Another book that has gone on to make millions of dollars is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? The idea of Think and Grow Rich is sourced from the Bible. There's so many of these books out there, right, that are bestsellers today, and the principles that are at the core of those books are sourced from the Bible. So that's why I pull them into our conversation, yeah, to give us better understanding. Because when we ground ideas on principles, we will not miss out in profitability. We will not miss we will not miss out in profitability. Now, um, yes, it is in Proverbs 23, verse 23. It is okay. I'm not quoting the whole thing. It is buy the truth and sell it not. Yes. Buy the truth and sell it not. I'll tell you how that comes to play in this conversation, right? Buy the truth and sell it not. Yeah, you remember I said that when it now comes to the idea of selling yourself, you must have what people need. So, so what you are selling should fall on the need bracket. If when it falls on the want bracket, it's fine. For example, food is a need, ice cream is a want. Yeah, we can do without ice cream and then we are fine. Somebody can stay a whole year without ice cream and then it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But I don't think anybody can stay without um yeah, there's this famous poem. It is 7 days without food makes 1 week. Yeah, it's true. I dare say 7 days without food makes can make one die, you know. Uh-huh. So food is a necessity, but ice cream is not. Food is a need, ice cream is a want. So are you selling food or you're selling ice cream? Yeah, but let's not don't play. Ice cream sellers still make money. Yeah, same as people who sell food. But I'd argue to say people who sell food, they make more than people who sell ice cream. Are we together? Are you following the conversation? So the idea is buy the truth and sell it not. So the first thought there is truth. Buy the truth. You have to buy truth. The truth there is what people need. You know, the if I stretch that, it is the truth shall make you free, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So truth, there are I'm sermonizing already. So the truth there is something that solves a problem because it makes free. You know, the idea is buy the truth and sell it not. So what is the truth now? The truth makes free. So the truth is product, service, skill that makes free. And freedom is at different level. It can be an emotional freedom. It can be a physical freedom. It can be a spiritual freedom. It can be psychological freedom. Right? Physical freedom is the ability to move from place to place. Everybody wants that kind of freedom. That's why no matter how expensive the cost of fuel gets or the airfare becomes, people will still travel because it's a need, right? It's people want that level of freedom to move. So physical freedom. So whatever you have must make people free. For example, this webinar is truth. Why? Because it's making the yes, the goal of this is to make free. When you listen to this, follow the series. The goal of it is that you become free. Freedom in being able to make wealth from what you have. And what you have, I'm talking about skill, I'm talking about service and products. So, truth, what you have should set people free. It can be clothing. People want to dress fine. Clothing is a necessity. Clothing is a need. People want to dress fine. And these days, clothing has gone beyond just a piece of fabric that covers nakedness. It has gone beyond that, right? To becoming a piece of fabric that shows one's style and help them. So clothing is a piece of fabric that shows one's style and gives an accurate representation of their worth. Clothing, clock it. This is a very good one. Clothing, I think this should go out to all fashion designers. Clothing is a piece of fabric that shows style and is a representation of the wearer or user's worth. So when I put on the clothes, it's showing my style, And it's also representing my worth. It's telling people how I see myself. So if the fashion designer thinks like this, the clothes they make will be tailored around the style of their customers. When you build solutions like that, you see that there'll be low cases of return. The person we are sewing the dress for does not like it a particular way, and you give the person that what they don't want. They would not patronize you anymore. So you are building something that they want. So need. So truth. When you have truth, it should make free. And I said, truth is solution, right? And I want to say solution, I said product, services, and skill. It should solve problems. It should set people free. Are we together now? That's the conversation I'm having with you. But when you have the truth, Proverbs 23 verse 23, and hope you know that Proverbs was written by Solomon, right? Solomon, I talked about him much earlier. Solomon is that guy that um, exchanged wisdom for wealth. And Bible will say that there was nobody as wealthy as Solomon. Yeah, you can contest that, but at the time there was nobody as wealthy as him. What did he exchange? He exchanged wisdom for wealth. Remember, I said that the law of wealth is premised on the law of exchange. Now, you must have truth. You must have truth. You must have truth. This is truth. What you are listening to now is truth. If you listen to it, you'll be made free. It's not a brag, right? Truth has to make free. If truth makes free, that truth will sell itself. Any truth that makes free sells itself. Any truth that makes free, what did I say? Sells itself. Now, but buy the truth and sell it not. But you bought it. Now, this is the case now. That particular principle is a mystery. So buy the truth, sell it not. So if you buy it, it means it was sold. Clock it. If you buy it, it means it was what now? Sold. So buy the truth, sell it not. But if you bought it, somebody sold it. But that verse is not telling you to not sell it. So if you did not buy it, if somebody did not sell it, how will you buy it? Now, so this is the way I weave around that particular principle. It is buy the truth. Have something that sets people free. Products, service, skill. Have something that sets people free. In my own case, it is speaking for me. Speaking is something I bought. Oh, and I bought it. Like, I don't kid you, I bought it with everything I have. And I'm still buying. If you listen to me, you will know that I have achieved a level of expertise in speaking, but I'm still learning, I'm still buying. So I bought it with time, with money, with attention. Yes, so I bought it. I bought it. Pay attention. So I paid attention and I got it. I also paid money and I got it. I gave time in exchange and I got it. So it's speaking. So this all enterprise, all I'm saying now is premised on my speaking ability. If I'm unable to speak, will this session hold? No. I have in the past, and I still do it. I teach people public speaking, how to speak to people and get their ideas across. I bought it, but I'm trying to make a case. The point is that I am selling something to you now. What are you doing? You are paying attention. So you are buying. Buy the truth, sell it not. My case is, if you are selling it not, if you bought it, somebody sold it. So buy the truth. Have something that sets free, but sell it not. This is the way I solve that problem. Don't sell it immediately. So buy the truth, but don't sell it immediately. This is a principle I've seen replicate with big brands. Okay. If you are somebody who is in the AI space, like you know about LLM, large large language models, right? You'd be familiar with a an LLM called um, Manus AI. When Manus AI came, Manus AI was free. Like I loved Manus AI. Manus AI gave me books. Manus AI helped me create courses. Manus AI was my guy. Like Manus AI is bad. So I was using Manus AI for some time, and I just woke up one day, went to Manus AI, and I discovered Manus AI no longer has a free plan. It's now a paid tool. It it started the paid tool because many people had jumped on it. It had gotten a lot of users, and the wisdom that the founders did is that they were able to build something people needed, and when they discovered people needed it, right? And so how did they know people needed it? They gave it for free. So they bought the truth. They bought something that solves problems, right? But they did not sell it immediately. They gave it for free. So the idea of buy the truth and sell it not is don't sell it immediately. The founder of Manus AI gave Manus AI for free. So people used it, and they had fallen in love with it. What did he now do? He now locked access to it. And so to get access to Manus AI, you have to pay a certain amount of money. It's the same thing with if you are into the video editing space. You're familiar with the editing tool called CapCut. For a very long time, CapCut was a free tool. Oh, I did CapCut. I even did a course, a video course on how to use CapCut. CapCut was the babe, the bell of um, anybody wanted to do video editing, smartphone video editing. Everybody did CapCut. If you did not do CapCut. So everybody did CapCut, right? I did CapCut. I did a course on CapCut. I sold it. I made good money with that. Until one day we all woke up and discovered CapCut is a paid tool. CapCut became a paid tool. And many people are paying for CapCut Pro today. Now, you cannot do anything on CapCut if you're not using the paid version. If you're able to even navigate the tool, you would have issues. So at some point, your video would now have the logo of CapCut. So what did the founder of CapCut do? They bought the truth. They did not sell it immediately. When they discovered the market liked what they were presenting, what did they now do? Decide selling it. So that's the part I'm trying to sell to you now. When you have truth, don't sell it immediately. Buy the truth, sell it not. Don't sell it immediately. Sell it later. When the market has accepted what you have to offer, what do? You now begin to sell. Buy the truth, don't sell it immediately. Are you getting what I'm dropping? Buy the truth, don't sell it immediately. When another brand that I would use for this, the purpose of this conversation is there's so many of them out there. Many of the tools, many of the technological tools, when they first come out, they are paid tools, they are free tools. When people now begin to jump on these platforms, what do they now do? They now make it paid. So it happened with Manus AI. It happened with, I'm sure you know several of them. Please, in the comment section, just share those ones you've used, the tools you use, and many times it will pain us when they now make it paid too, but that's how it works. Let's leave technology now. Even with borehole, people who have borehole, what do? When they drill the borehole and the borehole begins to bring out water, what they do immediately is that the whole environment, they open the tap, come and fetch, oh, come and fetch. It depends on how good the owner of the borehole is. That can run for a week, it can run for 2 weeks, it can run for a month. But somewhere along the line, they cut access to it. Buy the truth, don't sell it immediately, sell it later. Sell it later when the market is now on your side. we've had so many conversations um, around the idea of sell yourself, right? But like I said, we cannot finish everything in a day. So the best we can do is to um, do this in parts. And the idea of the parts is that um, you would get it in chunks, and at the end of the day, it now builds something for you. My hope is that so this section is very informative because that is the goal of this. It's very informative and it helps you in your journey. I would appreciate it if you can drop a comment, something you learned, something that hits you in the course of the conversation. And reading it will be a form or a kind of inspiration and encouragement to me to keep doing this. So this is where we'll draw the curtains. We'll pick up the conversation from here in the next webinar, which will be next week, Friday. Right. So thank you. Please, you can share the link to the video with your friends. Don't keep this alone. Let's put this out there and be a blessing to everyone around us. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.